This gameplay video is brought to you by Brandon Drennan. A massive thank you, Brandon. Got Eternal Oketra versus Pir Imaginative Rascal. And yeah, probably keep that. It's not an incredible hand, but we're on the draw at least. Turn 1 Pir Imaginative Rascal from our opponent off the back of a mana crypt. We'll just go for the tap land in Windbrisk Heights. And let's put, we'll put a Cathar's Crusade under there. Now a Garruk Wildspeaker. And they make a beast token with that. Then swing it in for 1 point of commander. And Pearl Medallion is a good turn 2 play for us, I think. Now our opponent taps down their 2 forests and they go for an untap with Garruk, which takes them into Primeval Bounty. We are going to get steamrolled thanks to the fast mana, I think. Turning both things sideways again. And it's another plains for us. We'll throw that down. And I think we're okay going for Thalia. And we'll throw out the Intangible Virtue as well. Another Garruk coming down now. They will be able to keep both of them. That puts a lot of plus counters on the beast. And then they make themselves another beast token. Comes in tap thanks to the Thalia. Untapping their lands with the Garruk Wildspeaker. 3 cards left in hand. They make another land, gain some life, and go for Nissa, Vastwood Seer, which makes them another beast token thanks to the Primeval Bounty, all of which coming in tapped. But they do have a forest to make next turn. Then they decide to hold back the 7/7 beast. I would have swung in here, so that when they -3 they'd lose the Garruk, but it might be that they block with Pir anyway. Another land for us, so we can go for Oketra here. I think I would rather go for Lightning Greaves and the Sword of the Animist. And then we've got haste on our commander next turn if we want it. So we might as well put the Greaves on the Thalia. They go for the minus on Garruk, go up to 10 cards in hand. And now it's Evolution Sage. Then playing a land and drawing a card. And that will proliferate thanks to the Evolution Sage. So it's counters on the Garruks and a plus counter on the beast. So they're probably going for the overrun effect next turn. I would imagine that would get us. Yavimaya Dryad gets them into another beast token with the Primeval Bounty. And that gets another land into play, which means more proliferation. And we've just put a Wrath of God on the bottom, haven't we? So I don't think there's any chance of drawing into that. We haven't shuffled yet, I don't think. Then Kodama's Reach will distribute some plus counters. And they'll gain some life from the land entering as well. I think they'll actually flip their Nissa around here as well. Yep, so it's more life, more proliferation. And Nissa will turn into a Planeswalker. They go for the plus with that, revealing a Llanowar Elves. And then swinging in for, 22 points of damage. I mean, we're after a board wipe at this point anyway, so we're probably just losing next turn. Might as well block some damage. Go down to 16. Alright, return to dust, a bit too late for that. Yeah, our opponent's got us off the back of that fast mana, so we will concede there. And we'll see if we can get another game going. Up against the same opponent again, and it's us that has the fast mana this time, so hopefully they'll play it out. We're on the draw again. Okay, a Findhorn Elves from our opponent. Let's go in for the Sol Ring. Nothing to do with that, so we'll pass. We've got a Rescos Explorer, which should do well against our opponent. Yeah, especially when they're getting into Kodama's Reach. But these don't put them into the battlefield, do they? Reveal those cards, put them into your hand, yeah, so let's just go for Blade Splicer here. And then we'll hold up mana for the Enlightened Tutor. And our opponent drops their Pir Imaginative Rascal, followed by a Nature's Law. So we'll go for Enlightened Tutor. I'm thinking Anointed Procession at the moment, so that we can get a bunch of zombies into play. Yeah, I think Anointed Procession is alright. So we'll get that down before our commander. And then we'll just drop the Nykthos. Let's turn. I don't mind trading them the Pir, to be honest. So yeah, let's go in with both of those. And they decide to trade as the Pir. It might be that they've got a buff here. No, they don't. So that's fine with me. Not really all that bothered about keeping first strike on our golem. Now it is Ugin the Ineffable. And they go for the spirit token with that. Wall of Omens for us. We will go for... Yeah, let's go for our commander. Do we want to hold off on our commander for now? Maybe we just go for the Wall of Omens. Yeah, let's go Wall of Omens here. I don't want to run out our commander straight into Ugin the Ineffable. And that's good. We'll go for the Plains, and then we can just hold up Teferi's Protection, I think. Let's swing in at the Ugin. And they block with the Spirit, so they'll get a card into hand. Emerald Medallion now from our opponent makes their green spells cost one less. So getting down their Pir again, which allows them to go for Everflowing Chalice. Only one counter on there. And they can play their Everflowing Chalice for free, because it costs 2 less with Ugin the Ineffable, so comes down with 1 counter on it. And they're going for the plus on Ugin again. Then it's Aurum Reef the Vastwood. Yeah, so just passing the turn to us at that. Okay, Cathar's Crusade. Yeah, do we care about Cathar's Crusade yet? Yeah, I'm going to continue to set up here, actually. And it might encourage them to minus down with the Ugin. So let's drop a land here. We won't be able to go for Teferi's Protection, but yeah, we might be able to get them to minus. Not going to swing in, because they'll just block with the Spirit and get some card advantage, and they are down to only 3 cards. Now it's their turn. Yep, going for the minus on the Cathar's Crusade, that's fine. Then Khan's Bastion coming in, so they can make use of Proliferate. I'm guessing this is this has a bit of a Super Friends sub-theme to it. So with 2 cards in hand, we will get into Cloud Goat Ranger, okay. Let's try and encourage them to minus down again. And then we'll crack the Flooded Strand. Get into a basic. And then cast the Oreskos Explorers, which will grab us a couple of zombie tokens. And the Oreskos Explorers will give us a land to make for the turn. So I'm assuming that they're going to minus down on God Eternal Oketra. But then they're not minusing down on other things at least, and we've got some 4/4s that we can start swinging in with. So let's go in towards Ugin. We're going to have to start swinging in eventually anyway, so we'll give them that card with the Spirit. And they block here, so that clears it out of the way for when we start swinging in with the 4/4 Vigilance creatures. Then it's a Proliferate on Khan's Bastion. They get another counter on the Chalice and one on Ugin. Actually, it's a couple apiece thanks to Pir. Vernal Bloom now, which is a mana doubler for them. 2 cards left in hand. And they've got a Mystifying Maze in play now as well. God Eternal Oketra being destroyed by the Ugin. We will not put it into the command zone. It's going to go third from the top for us. I just said yes to using God Eternal Oketra's ability, and it appears to have gone into the command zone here. Hopefully it's just a glitch and we will actually draw into it in a few turns. Anyway, Garrick Wildspeaker has come down now as well. Okay, Sword of the Animist will help us to ramp. Let's go for the Cloud Goat Ranger. Now that will get us into a bunch of tokens. And then we can make 5 mana with the Nykthos. So let's go for Sword of the Animist. And we'll put that on the Oreskos Explorer, because I imagine they're going to stop one of the zombies from swinging in. Now then, we've got to work out combat accurately. In fact, why don't we just swing everything in at Ugin? Because they can proliferate on the fly. They can also remove something from combat. Now, I'm assuming that it's gone back to the command zone as part of some kind of glitch, so I am going to shuffle the library here and look for a plains and just hope that our commander doesn't just disappear. Yeah, it's still in the command zone for some reason. In response, they are exiling one of our tokens, which will remain exiled. Then proliferating to add a counter to Ugin, so it looks like it's going to go down to 1 loyalty if they block with these two. Oh, actually down to 2 thanks to Pir. But it still can't minus down at least. Yep, so it's going to take hit for 3. We'll fly over with the Cloud Goat Ranger next turn at least. Getting down their Pir again. And they'll be able to do a load of proliferation with the Khan's Bastion because the Garruk over here can untap there. Throwing out a Sakura Tribe Elder for blocks. And a Spirit for blocking as well. So they're down to no cards in hand now. Then a Beast for blocking as well, so deciding not to go for the whole proliferate thing. They put some counters on those with the Aurum Reef Fastwood. And we just get into Emeria the Sky Ruin. Let's drop that. If we get into a Plains, then the turn after... Oh, actually, we'll have a Plains from the Sword of the Animist, so next turn we'll be able to bring back the Blade Splicer. And we'll get... Yeah, the Blade Splicer will give us a couple of Golem tokens. Alright, we could really do with haste at this point. Let's... they can block with the Beast. They could double block to get rid of a Zombie Warrior. I imagine they're using Mystifying Maze on the Cloud Goat Ranger. Let's give this flying to start things off. And then we'll put the sword on the Warrior. And I think we'll just swing in like that. Go after the Ugin both times. I imagine what they do here is, yeah, they remove the giant with Mystifying Maze and they block this to kill it off. Might just be that they take the hit to Ugin and they proliferate because it won't go down here. Yep, so Mystifying Maze on there. We will get a bunch of Kithkin soldiers at least when it re-enters. And then proliferate. We'll add some counters to the Beast so they can just chump block the zombie. We got the plains that we wanted at least. We also lose devotion to the Cloud Goat Ranger, leaving play until the end of the turn. So yeah, just blocking the Zombie Warrior. So in that case, let's go for our commander. I don't know why it's in the command zone, but there we are. Play out our commander again. And then Mystifying Maze will bring back the Cloud Goat Ranger with some Kithkin soldiers. And we get 6 in total thanks to the Anointed Procession. Might be that they minus down on Anointed Procession. Nope, minusing down on God Eternal Oketra. So let's have a look at this. Return to the command zone. No. Use God Eternal Oketra's ability. Yes. I want to... when it dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, you may put it into its owner's library, third from the top. Yes, I do want to do that. Alright, yeah, it just goes into the command zone again. Do we just have to click it and stop it from going into... or tell it to go into the library? Yeah, they changed the way that you operate Magic Online so often that it's just difficult to know what the hell you want to do. To actually have the game act the way you want it to. Anyhow, they get down a Garruk Relentless. I thought the colour identity of that was black and green. Apparently you can run it in mono green decks. Alright, I didn't know that. I thought the colour identity considered both sides on these things. They decide to have the Golem fight the Garruk, so now it turns into the Veil Cursed, and they can start making Death Touch Wolves. They'll also be able to search for creatures with that, so I think we go wide at the Veil Curse next turn if we can. Also doing a bunch of proliferate shenanigans and plus counter stuff with the beast tokens that they're making. Not swinging into us. And Emeria, the Sky Ruin will start to trigger now, so we'll get back the Blade Splicer, which will come in with a couple of Golem tokens. And it's just another Plains for us, unfortunately, so let's drop that. Let's make some white mana with Nykthos. That is 6 white mana. Right, so God Eternal Oketra comes down, and let's click on that. Command Zone instead of Library, there we go. Used to be that there were 4 options here. It would ask you about Graveyard and Exile. And now it's stopped doing that, and it started asking you over here. So it's split the 2 ideas across different zones for some reason, instead of just asking you every time like it should. Alright, so we want it in the library, not the command zone. There we go, so it should work now for any of you that want to run the God Eternal cycle. That's what you need to do apparently. I forgot to equip the sword, but no matter. Forgot to activate the Cloud Goat Ranger as well. Let's go at the Ugin there. We'll have to leave some soldier tokens back. And let's go with the Kithkins in at Garrick the Veil Cursed. Alright, so we've got 3 of the Kithkin soldiers held back. Let's hold on to control so that we hold priority after we declare attacks. And that way we can tap these down and give the Cloud Goat Ranger flying. So there we are, it's the usual trick of mystifying Maze. Don't know what they're targeting yet. Going for the Cloud Goat Ranger again. And then proliferating with Khan's Bastion again. So they'll get 3 loyalty in total onto the Veil Cursed. And I don't know if we can get through enough damage with the Kithkins here. Yeah, we still can. We'll get rid of, or our opponent will get rid of some Kithkins. But we can still get rid of the Veil Cursed here, so that's good. So, at the end of the turn, let's go for the Sword of the Animist. We'll just put it on a golem because it has first strike, so it's a better blocker. Hold up the Teferi's Protection. Mystifying Maze brings back the Cloud Goat Ranger for even more tokens. And now we've got Teferi's Protection held up as well. So if they go for the minus onto the Anointed Procession, then I think we go for Teferi's Protection. And if they go for it onto God Eternal Oketra, we actually don't have a creature to reanimate now, so we could just leave it in the graveyard and then just bring it straight back out with Emiria the Sky Ruin. Yep, going after the God Eternal Oketra again. So let's have it return to the command zone, no. And then do we want to use the ability? No, we don't. We want to bring it back out with Emiria the Sky Ruin. And we'll just hope that they don't kill Emiria the Sky Ruin with a Beast Within or a Wasteland or something. Looks like our opponent was just doing some maths there. They minus down on the Garrick. Might have to use Teferi's Protection here. Yeah, we'll encourage them to turn everything sideways first, because we might be able to turn in sideways at them. They go for Proliferate right now. I'm glad we didn't use the Teferi's Protection to rescue the God Eternal Oketra. Might be able to get them on an alpha swing. Don't know if I don't think we've got enough damage actually. And they'll still have the Mystifying Maze up. But they've got Trample on a bunch of stuff. So let's, during attacks, go for the Teferi's Protection. And I don't think they've used Ugin yet, so they're going to have a blocker as well. You would think that they would plus with the Ugin. 1 card left in hand. Well, the 1 card in their hand was an Arcane Signet. And they shove it back round to our turn. Forgot to plus Ugin, I think. We get Boreas Charger, which is just more means of getting into lands, which I don't really care about at this point. So let's see, we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 17, 18, 19 and 20, 23, 24, 25 and 26. Yeah, so even without the Mystifying Maze we're short. So I think we have to concentrate on getting rid of Garrick Wildspeaker here. Oh, alright, our opponent decided to scoop at that. Yeah, I don't know about that. That was, yeah, that's what I consider to be an early scoop. Yeah, we were getting into some stuff eventually, but yeah, I think we had a chance of getting our opponent there, but I think our opponent had every chance of getting us as well. Just managed to grind them to a halt. I think we were getting rid of both of their planeswalkers there. We would have to swing in enough damage to account for the Mystifying Maze. And I didn't get a chance to work out if we could actually do that or not. Definitely would have gotten rid of the Garrett Wildspeaker because I want rid of Trample. And once we've gotten rid of Trample, then these things can just be chump blocked all day long. Would have gotten into a couple of zombie tokens with the Boreas Charger, and then this would have been able to block itself, obviously. So yeah, apologies for not having the most satisfying conclusion to that game, but our opponent obviously didn't want to play it out. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video anyway. Be sure to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you did. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.